Okay, going in now on part three, the final chapter of this um, three part series. So, without further ado, I think we're up to number 29. Okay, number 29. Okay, how can I put this? Some women, you're just, independent. Say, example, you have no ties, you're independent, you have a lot of freedom, and you're basically a free spirit. So, you're good. You can do what you want, you can come and go, you know, and, if you're a free spirit as well as very liberated, yeah. There's some women that are very liberated, free spirits. They come and go as they please. You know what I mean. Similarly to one of the points I made previously about how it appears, it may appear flaky, but actually it may not be. It's just a free spirited woman doing her thing. So basically, when you're basically, just a free spirit doing your thing, you're just living life, isn't it? You're out there having fun, doing your thing, linking different guys, meeting and greeting different guys. So ultimately, you're technically single, in that lifestyle, and you will, basically continue to be single because that's your thing, isn't it? You're that's how you are. You meet different guys, but yeah, you're actually you're a single, free spirited person. That's what it is. Okay, so that's 29. Number 30, good one. You have high standards, but you won't let those standards slip. Okay, again, as I said, most of these questions, or most of these points are my own points. I'm gonna throw a few in there which are like, general questions that have been asked to ask, and that's one of them. Basically, yeah, simply, the standards, say your standards, they're very high, and if you're not budging from those standards, then, you've narrowed the market, isn't it? So if I've got a job and there's 100,000 people, but I only want someone who's got 20 years experience, PhD, and they can they can travel anywhere in the world, and for the point of discussion, you want them to have no children, whatever it is. You've narrowed it down, isn't it? Same thing applies to the dating market. But if you like guys who are 6'7", right, and you're not slipping from that, then you're looking at 3% of men. So you somehow, some way, you've got to meet that 3% of men somehow, some way, which which is a rarity in itself. And in that rarity, you've got to look at you closing the deal, him being attracted to you, and many other different factors. So yeah, having high standards but not letting them slip will be another reason why you're single. Okay, 31. Good one again. You meet a guy, you see a guy, you like him, he likes you, but you're concerned that you might not be good enough for him. Okay. Now this is where we look at the element of what people call low self-esteem. Okay. So obviously, that doesn't mean you don't value yourself, you don't like yourself. It just means that in this instance, you can call it insecurity if you want, but insecurity, low self-esteem. This guy's got it all going on. He's good looking. He's 6 foot, masters. He's a sporty guy. He's got it all going on, and you're obviously there thinking, you're not good enough for the guy, and he's out your league. You may end up invariably pushing him away. And if there's more than one, then there you go. It is what it is. You'll be continually doing that, and you'll be continually, single, I guess. Number 32. Past experiences. Okay, I'll be quick on this one. Past experiences, if they're negative, then you'll be less reluctant to give new opportunities and a chance going forward, simply because of past experience. Simply put, it's simple as that. So obviously, with previous experiences, you're like, nah, you'll shy away from anything that comes up. And the sad thing is, things like love in many cases for women, having that true feeling is very rare. So, if you're passing up on the rarity of a love relationship, then that's not good. And because they're so rare anyway, that may be a reason why you'll stay to be single. All right. Number 33. You're focused on your career. You got a high-powered career. You have a career that obviously runs over time. So focus on your career. Don't focus on man. So obviously, you meet guys, may have little links here and there, but you're actually focused on your career woman. And that may be a reason why you're single, but ultimately, as we know, there's no such thing as a job for life anymore. So when you've had to come out your job or made redundant, then that's a problem in some cases. Because a lot of women, focus on their career. If they're in their career for a while, lose their job, they're like, wow, where did the time go? Exactly, where did the time go? Because, if you're high flying, hit 35, 36, 37, where's the time go? You haven't had children. You got to jump on that man now. Because, you want to leave a legacy. And obviously work isn't what it was, so that's not leaving the right legacy. That's not gonna, that's, I know some women who, have actually jumped out of work and I want to have kids. Because they're, especially now in this day and age, especially in the way the work environment is now. So I looked around, seen their friend who's focused on her career all her life, and all of a sudden there's no man, and she has no capability or means to meet men because she doesn't go out because, So there you go. That's 33. 34, similarly. You got kids. If you've got kids, there's no carer, you can't meet man. So your life's going to resolve around your man. Similar to a previous point in the last in part 2. It's kind of similar. Your kids, there's no carer, you can't meet a guy. Or your kids always have to come first. So your kid could fall ill, can't meet him. Something could happen, you can't meet the guy. You might have to attend a school meeting when he wants to go on a date or he sets something up. These kind of things, invariably affects things in relationships. And, in many cases, it's the reason why it causes a bit of stress in a relationship. And at some point, your kid's got to come first, the guy puts out, and boom, there you go. But if you had, some women don't have that support network. Some women that do have a support network can go out there and meet guys willy-nilly. But hey, and as we live in more of an individual society nowadays, as things are progressing, that's going to be a factor. Number 35, I think we're on. Okay, again, this question was posed to me. An article question someone asked me to put in. Okay, some women are on a mission of self-discovery, okay? And I've said previously, similar point, I understand that. You're in an issue of self-discovery. And I focus on myself. Okay, that's fine, do all that. But as I've said before, time doesn't wait for no man, nor does it wait for any woman. Again, that's why you got to know what you're about. Because, yes, self-discovery, I get that. But in terms of the opposite gender, or if you're gay, whatever it is, whatever you're looking for, you got to know what you're about. And actually, finally, I say that because I know a few girls who are gay who I chat to, and boy, they say the same thing. Actually, they have a similar point of view as men do when it comes to dating. So arguably, yes, some women are on a spate of self-discovery. That's fine, but ultimately, you need to know what you're about. Okay, right. Number 36, fair commitment. Okay. Touched on something similar to this, okay? Again, this was a question posed to me to ask, to go into. Yes, there's a fair commitment. Some women have a fear of commitment or may not be ready to settle down. That's fine, but as I said before, that's good. Again, we've analysed this from a thinking point of view, in that, yes, that's true to an extent. But like I said, when you meet the right person, you've got to be ready. Okay, so the fair commitment thing, sometimes you have to jump in, Fair commitment is a fear in itself, isn't it? Sometimes you just got to jump in. Because like I said, opportunities may not arise. Like I've got a few women I know from back in the day hitting me up, calling me, and they're sniffing around, you know what I mean? But hey, it would have been good if you closed the door then. I mean, you want to come back decades later trying to get in. They still look good, but man's not available like that. So yeah. And maybe at the time it was a fair commitment. etc., etc. They're more grown now. But hey, their fair commitment, you know, I mean, and also with fair commitment, again, some women are very free spirited, liberal women, yeah. That commitment, that whole different, it's a different lifestyle. You know, you're going from being free spirited, meeting guys, having fun, going partying, to all of a sudden, the one guy settling down, homely life, you know. So that's viable as well. So, you know, maybe some women don't want to give that up. So ultimately, again, yes, fair commitment is a factor. Number 37. Again, internet question posed to me by some people. Prioritizing friendships. Okay, yep. Women may prioritize their friendships and social connections over romantic relationships. Yes, that's why you're single. As I said, I gave the analogy of the old 80s TV series, Golden Girls. Yep, you put your friends forward, but ultimately two things. You put your friends forward, which is fine, but again, you may grow old together like the Golden Girls, or they might just, while you're there focusing on them, they meet other guys settling down. You're the one running around, you know, being their friend, which is fine, but they're moving on with their life. They're meeting guys, meeting kids. You're still there in the loop, but ultimately, you know, they're moving forward. You know, prioritizing friendships is good, but you have to prioritize your romantic life as well, because there's still a lot of options out there. So, you know, if you're prioritizing your friends and she's prioritizing man over you, then yeah, that's your homework for the weekend. You think that out and get back to me, okay? That's the conundrum. You as a woman have prioritized your friends when it comes to dating man, but now all of a sudden your friends are prioritizing man over you when it comes to your time. How is this resolved? I'll give you the answer, but what do you think? Let me know. Number 38. Again, internet question posed to me by people who want to know certain things. Self-care, self-love and self-care. Women may focus on self-love and self-care, recognizing that being single is a valid and fulfilling experience. If that's the case, then you're single because you want to be, and it's fulfilling and validating. That's fine. That's fine. If it's self-love and self-care, that's fine. But ultimately, I met so many women that entertain that. But deep down, listen, everybody wants to be complete and have their ideal in their life. That's what everybody wants. An ideal situation with either person, but it's all compatible for them. Okay? And that's my view. If they reject that or don't want that, that's fine. But that's going to be a reason why you are single. Okay? Boom. Now, that's number 38. That was the plan to go to number 38. But a few of the ones that I covered actually ran into other ones, and I made a few other ones up. So ultimately, we've hit number 38, but I'm going to go to number 40 and throw in a bonus ball. That was my original plan anyway, to go to number 40 and throw in a bonus ball. So it's going to be 41. So you got a little bonus there. Okay. So, well, you got two actually. I'm going to make this one an addition. So that's going to go there. Well, no, I'll keep it as 40 and I put last two together. So, in this lecture, in my brutally honest answers I'm giving you, from 1 to number 40 now. Okay. Next one, number 39. As a woman, you see men as all the same. You generalize all men. Okay. This is a problem because if you have a negative view of men or a negative outlook of men due to previous experience or what you've seen with friends, then, but if you generalize all men and you've got a negative opinion, then it's obviously likely you're going to be single, isn't it? That's self-explanatory. You know what I mean? Obviously, you know, if you're generalizing and not looking for certain things, then you've validated yourself in being single. It's as straightforward as that. Number 40. Right, now, number 40. And yeah, number 40. This is really, it should end, but you got the bonus ball, as I said. Now, this is where I'm going to go into detail a bit now. Yeah, these last two. Okay. Number 40. This is a good one. You as a woman, you're safe, you're wonderful, you're a great person, fantastic, brilliant, good looking, everything's in place, everything's all good. No complaints. But there's one issue. You're not sexually available like that. Okay? You're not sexually available like that. In the sense that some women have that Liberian exterior. Like, straight laced, you know, very stiff, stuck up. That's a good example to use when we're looking at people's sexual availability. So basically, as a woman, you're not sexually available like that. You just don't, you don't give off, you don't have that. Yeah, you're just not sexually available. Okay, and I'm going to go into detail on that with number 41. Okay, the bonus ball. Yeah. So yeah, number 41. Similarly to that point, that you're not sexually available, it's somewhat of a, how do I put this? You're not sexually available because you're not built like that, which is one thing. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, but this is the big but. Yeah, this is the big but. Sexual energy and the sexual feel. Yeah, it's like a sexual market out there. Right, it's number 41. Okay. You don't have that sexual energy or that sexual exchange. Okay. It's very important because some women have it in abundance. Yeah, female charisma, they use female sexuality. I'm not saying be cheap or be a hoe. I'm saying you don't have that sexual energy exchange. Okay, number 41. Okay, like some women think of someone I know. Yeah, she's funny, she's charismatic. Not a hoe, but she can be. That's a fun. That's a fun part. But her sexual energy, it's a raw. All men from all backgrounds check for this girl. Okay, so she has that mass appeal, but she's that friendly, funny, witty, but she's very not pretty, very pretty as well. Got all that. She has the whole package. She has all that, but her energy is it's an energy thing. Like when you get close to her, you can feel the sexual vibe. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Right, let me give an example. I was at a club. One of the crew were there. Obviously, he's standing there. He's a young guy, in shape. Guy's fitness trainer. He's in shape, standing there, well dressed. He's just standing there. And I was just observing. And this girl's staring at him. Blonde girl. He's like a brown skin Afro-Caribbean guy in shape. She's staring at him. Well, it's she kind of walked across. And when he's standing in front of me, like and there's a crowd. He's in the crowd with me. There's like a gap where people walking past him. Yeah, people walking past. He's just standing there. A slight gap where people are walking past. She looks at him walking very slowly, and she got very, very close to him, and she's walking very slowly, and brushing right against him. He's kind of looking. He's like, because he's a bit of a player. He's like, and he's obviously used to it, I guess. Because he's a bit of a player, he's like leaning back a little bit, and she brushes right against him. She got him full on, and I was like looking like, huh? And he looked at me, his head to left, and just smiled. And she looked by, she's like, who's in the moment? That's a good example of sexual exchange. And it's a sexual exchange market. That's what it is. And that's one of the reasons why, I guess, and, well, no, we go back on that a little bit. Sexual exchange market, that's why, some guys, before they open their mouth, they're standing there, the energy, it gives off that it emits that energy, which is part of that sexual exchange. So it's like a market. Obviously, people interact all the time, but the vibe they give off is very sensual. In fact, I'll replace that word sexual, let's call it sensual. It's a sensual exchange market. How's that? Because that's how it is. It's very sensual. And from there, it just flows and drifts. You see that? See, women here listening to this and feeling that, no, I know what I'm talking about. They just felt that. If you feel that, boom, that there. That's what we're talking about. And that's a good bonus ball to end on. So there you have it. Originally 38, but now 40 plus 1, which is 41 brutally honest reasons why a woman like yourself or your friends, whatever it is, may be entertaining in a single life, Not that it's bad; it could be a good thing. But we're just saying those are the reasons why women are single. Okay, out.